Just.
Jeez.
What's up? How are you?
They're hugging.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
You know, we've had everyone up here. You name them. We've had the hugest artists, singers, actors, and you know, and we all try to keep it together. Today, it went off the rails. So Brian Baumgartner's here. Of course, Kevin from The Office. Good morning.
Good morning, Elvis. How are you?
Well, I'm fine. And usually this studio's filled with other people that are on the show, but we kicked them out for a moment. Because when we told them that Kevin from The Office is coming in, they went ape crap. They went nuts.
Ape crap. Really?
Exactly.
Yes.
And, like, for instance, Danielle, the one on the right over there, she went to a DunderCon and stood in line for an hour and a half to meet you.
Yeah, they're literally behind glass right now. This is very
understand.
There's 4 or 5 of them.
And Gandhi and Lauren and back in the back with the curly hair.
Yeah.
Sam, she dressed as you with a big pot of chili for Halloween.
I just met her. She didn't tell me that.
I'm afraid to let them in, but do you want to let them come in?
Yes, you can let them in.
Okay, here we go.
Jeez. What's up? How are you?
They're hugging.
How are you?
Oh, they're coming up for hugs. In the day and age of COVID, let's give our guest a hug.
I just was tested. Hi, how are you? Hi.
They weren't.
Did they? No, they weren't. Did they do that to Lady Gaga when she was here?
No.
Actually, no. Actually, Lady Gaga did it to her because she grew up listening to her. So it's a
that was kind of cool.
Reverse engine.
That's cool.
Yeah, best day ever.
Okay. Thank you.
So the reason Barbara and I are in here is we love The Office, but we're not going to like push you over like it's. Okay. So and you know what? Everyone, of course, you've heard it over and over and over, Brian. You know, the best scene ever was the chili scene. And, of course, which brings you here today because he has his seriously good chili cookbook.
Yes. Yeah.
That's right.
We finally found a way to snag someone from The Office. Because you have an agenda. You got to sell some books.
There is a, yes. Listen, Elva, if you would have told me 10 years ago when we were filming this scene that I would be sitting here talking to you with people behind glass trying to sell a cookbook about chili, I would have for sure called you a liar. But yeah, I mean, it's a moment that has kind of taken over, certainly part of my life. And we had so much fun putting this together. It
looks like
told stories. Oscar Nunez wrote the foreword, and we told some stories about shooting that scene and about chili in general. And look, they did a beautiful job with it. I'm super proud of it, actually.
Well, I tell you, look, being from Texas, I had to immediately go to your Texas chili to make sure that there's no beans in it.
No beans. You're a no beans guy.
I'm a no beans guy. I actually like beans in chili, but if you say you're from Texas and you say you like beans in your chili, they kick you out of Texas.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here in New York.
That's why you're here, exactly.
So why not? I mean, why not a chili cookbook? I mean, out of all this many scenes you did, that's the one that a lot of people talk about a lot.
That is, yes.
So we'll do it.
All right. Well,
Okay,
I heard I met you like a week ago, by the way.
I was at DunderCon.
Yes.
Because my son Spencer, who's 17, loves The Office. He's actually the one who really got me into it.
She takes him to Scranton.
We've been to Scranton.
You went to Scranton?
Twice, 3 times. And he's looking at Scranton University, and I'm not even kidding
Because of you.
Okay, first of all, it's the University of Scranton. Secondly,
Danielle. That's right.
Secondly, I am going tomorrow.
Are you?
How about blowing your mind?
You're going to have the good pizza, right?
Which one is that?
Not the hot circle of garbage. That's right. I'm going tomorrow. I'm going to the University of Scranton.
Are you really?
Do you want me to hand in his resume? No, no, application.
Tell the
That's
soccer
the word.
Coach that we're on the way.
The soccer coach?
Yes,
this could get him in.
Yes,
All right.
Full ride,
That'd be awesome. But so he got me into it, and I love the fact that you can watch it with your kids, and we have a good time watching it, and it's fun, and it's funny, and it's just, I don't know, he's watching it from the beginning for the 3rd time.
It's the greatest show of all time.
Really?
The greatest show ever made. I love it. I'm obsessed with it.
Gandhi started with us 4 years ago.
Yep.
And first day out, what's your favorite show? The Office. Okay. Yeah. And then, of course, Lauren doesn't even work here anymore, but she came here. She came here to see you.
Oh, that's funny.
And then Sam dressed up as you for Halloween and threw chili all over the carpet.
I'm unwell.
Did you were you both? I've heard of couples where one in the couple is Kevin and the other is chili.
No, he
spilling
didn't
out
have
of
the appropriate level of appreciation. So I told my fiance that I got this one, babe. Go do Halloween on your own.
You've got this one. Okay. All right.
I do walk around my apartment with Kleenex boxes for shoes.
Yeah.
There was a little kid at DunderCon whose father shaved his head.
Yeah.
That went viral.
This is not this. No, this was crazy. And people like all day they were like, "Have you seen the little kid? He looks just like you." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And suddenly I saw this kid, and I was like, "Oh Lord!" Like shaved his head, did the tissue boxes and the suit,
It was
the
crazy.
appropriate color. It was crazy.
Let's talk about this. And I did bring up the comparison a moment ago.
Okay.
Like Star Trek conventions.
Yes.
And there was that scene from Saturday Night Live where William Shatner got up, and it was a bit like, you people got a life.
Yes.
Because they know every scene, every episode, like 22 minutes in, that's when Kevin came out and threw chili on the...
Yeah.
It was the opening scene of Casual Friday.
Is it really like that when you meet fans of the show? And
well, look, I'm not a Star Trek fan, so let me just preface it by saying that, and I mean no disrespect. I feel like the Star Trek thing is it like feeds a nerddom, like right, like it's about the stuff and the fantasy and all of that. I do think there is a distinct difference, which is we hear so often, so many times when I was there, that the show brings people comfort.
Yes.
Like that it made them feel better when they were going through a difficult time. They were serving in the military. They were going through a medical issue, a family problem, and they watched the show and it brought them comfort. And here's the crazy thing is that not only is that true, I assume, that because I've had so many people say that to me, it's that they feel a need to tell me that.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
like there is a need to say to me, I want you to know this. And I just always thank them profusely for telling me, because that is, to me, the greatest gift that I was ever given on the show.
Are you guys listening to this?
Yeah. I am.
And the reason why I'm bringing this up is we hear this every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, in the mornings, people are stuck in traffic for 20 minutes or 2 hours.
Right.
They're leaving a house they hate living in, or they're going to a job they hate.
Right.
They've issues with money and relationships and weight gain and COVID and... The thing is The Office, just like our show. I mean, these are ways for them to escape that for a minute, and so they mean every moment of that, Brian. And I'm glad that you take it to heart.
Yeah,
it's very good. It's very important to do that.
No, 100%.
Otherwise, you're just showing up and you're acting and you're going home.
That's right.
All right. Okay. Get the geek out. We got to sell some chili books.
I will say, this was supposed to be a surprise. You were supposed to be a surprise, and somebody accidentally put it on the calendar yesterday. As soon as we saw it, we were like, "Did you see who's in the mail?" And then it was a discussion of what are we wearing, because I wanted to wear my Threat Level Midnight shirt, and then I thought, I'm not a loser.
Right.
I won't do it. Would you have thought we were geeks if we showed up in all our office gear?
I expected it.
Oh!
Expected it.
Let him
He's a little
down.
disappointed.
I'm disappointed. For
By the way,
sure.
Really
just
missed an
turning us,
opportunity.
if you're just turning us on, Brian Baumgartner's here, of course.
Yeah.
Kevin from The Office. He has this seriously good chili cookbook, 177 of the best recipes in the world. I like it. I love cooking. I love cookbooks.
Yes.
I love a spiral cookbook. It's easy to turn the page. It's easy to keep
It
it
doesn't
open.
close.
No, it doesn't close. And I was just telling someone outside when they said to me they were about to go actually make them, they were like, "We've upgraded you to a spiral."
Ooh.
And I was like,
Fancy.
that sounds terrible, right? That sounds like the spiral notebooks from high school is what popped into my head. And it's like, why is that better than hard copy? Hard copy? Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that what you call it?
Hard words do
Bound book. But then I saw it and I was like, oh, right, because it lays flat on the table.
Yeah.
You can just open it up and leave it there. No, they did a beautiful job.
Okay, so how many times have you actually rolled into the kitchen and made chili?
A bunch now. The first time I did it was kind of a joke-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am a big football fan. I made it one Saturday in the fall, a bunch of people over, and I was like, well, I mean, pick or it didn't happen, right? Isn't that what they say? And so I took a picture. I thought, oh, some people might think this is funny. Posted it on Instagram, and much like this morning, people lost their minds. Like they just could not believe that I was making chili, and I thought, okay, well, this is fun. So I started playing around and experimenting with it. But I mean, really, the seminal moment for this book was a year ago, the World Championship Chili Cook-Off. This is not a little. This has been going on over 50 years. It's in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina now. I went last year, and these are hundreds of people competing against each other, and they have all won. already, like their region or district and state and all this stuff. The community, the kind of communal spirit, the getting together and making it, I loved it.
So
it was
this
so much
the first
fun.
chili cook-off you'd ever been to?
Like that, yeah.
I mean, this is like the World Championship.
Yeah,
the
like
Super Bowl.
It was the
Chili Bowl. The
Yes,
Chili Bowl.
that's right. And so we have a ton of recipes that won world championships.
I see that
in the book. Yes,
beneath each and every one of the 177 recipes, you get to meet the chef who put them together.
That's
where
cool.
they're from, what their motivation was with the chili.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of salivating.
I know.
Now, do you have a favorite in the book?
Well, first off, mine, by the way, but there is page 86, I think, because someone else asked me.
Let's turn in our chili cookbook to page 86.
Chuck Edwards, smoked chicken, white chili,
that sounds good.
which I had judging at the World Championship. And I thought of chili like anyone thinks of chili. I tried this thing. It was so delicious, and I made it a couple weeks ago.
Chuck Edwards, you go.
Look
at that.
Yes.
Smoked white chicken chili.
Yeah. So there's someone asked vegetarian, there's vegan, there's green chili verde, and and then of course, as you said, Elvis, beans or no beans.
No.
Yes.
Where do you get smoked chicken?
Well, you grill it. And you smoke it, and then
are you being sarcastic?
And then
Take a cigarette.
No, that's what I
You know
did.
me. After sex, I smoke a chicken. I don't know. It looks good. Oh, look here.
There it is.
Here's a picture of Brian at DonnaCon with the little shaved head kid.
He's
I
great.
don't know. Why would someone do that to their poor child?
That's it. I know.
He probably loved it.
I was told, because I said to the parents, like, what the hell are you doing? And they were like, he wanted to do it. He wanted to do it. Now, I will say this. I know that this is a morning show, and there are certain things I can't say here, but there are things we said on the show that this age boy, I'm not sure should be watching.
Right.
Now, I don't know.
I do agree with that.
I don't know how old your son.
17
is wholly appropriate. I'll even take 16, 15-ish.
Yeah.
But like he's 11 or something. He's 11.
I love that. Okay, back to the chili cookbook.
Yes.
I mean, it's really funny how different regions of our country have different types of chili. In Texas, for instance, no beans.
Yes.
Then you have some places that take the chili, put it on macaroni. You know?
Cincinnati.
So what have you learned about chili since you started a chili cookbook?
Well, I think at its base level, the different varieties, right? Like I was thinking, multiple recipes is like spicy or not, right? Like what degree of spice? But really the flavors, the type of even if you're making it hotter, whether you use jalapenos or you other ancho chilies or whatever else, it just changes the flavor so dramatically, and what kind of meat you're using, how many different types. I mean, there are chilies in here that have like 4 different types of meats. Sorry to the vegetarians here, but yeah. So I just had so much fun with it, and again, I don't know if anyone ever has made chili for themselves. You don't go at home.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Josh made it the other day.
Oh, well, there you go.
So stop
I
that.
think of it.
Stop
I know.
that
Well, I'm
negative
sorry.
thinking.
Well, at least in here, I think these recipes may be bigger. Now, obviously, you can cut them down. But I mean, what I'm talking about is the like communal, like it's almost like a Thanksgiving thing, right? Where you spend hours making it, and everyone's around, and then you eat it, and it's done. But like as people are coming over, people helping. Oh, try this. I consider making chili like a great game of golf. There's never a perfect round, right? You can't. You're always trying to get just a little bit better or do it a little bit differently this
You're
time.
a golfer, Frog. You agree with that?
I am. Yeah, he's exactly right. There's no such thing as the perfect round. You can play like crap, but then the last hole you hit good. You're like, I'm coming back. Same with chili.
Yeah.
I like this text. Brian just came in.
And chili comes back sometimes.
It does. It revisits us. Text says, it's so great hearing Brian not acting as Kevin. Same voice tone, but not being clueless like Kevin. You see, Kevin,
I think his voice is completely different. Like I don't think
so
it sounds
too, yeah.
anything
he's right here. You can
Yeah,
address it.
I'm sorry.
Kevin
sorry.
guy.
I honestly think
Get her behind the glass.
everything, your tone everything is completely different.
Yes. Thank you. You know, I am a professional actor. This is
crazy.
This is what I do for the living.
You're on a kids show right now. Aren't you the voice of the bear on Trash Truck?
That's right.
My sister's kids watch it.
Yes, it is. It is all about Trash Truck now. Yes, thank you. That's another beautiful show.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, one more round of office questions. Then I think we sold a couple of cookbooks. By the way, we're going to post this on our socials. It's Seriously Good Chili Cookbook. Of course, Brian Baumgartner. I can't say your name.
Yeah, I know it's hard. A lot of B's.
Okay, go.
Okay, mine's not about The Office, but we always have a debate in here about soup and sauce, and I would like you to weigh in on this.
Okay.
Is there an argument that soup is really just sauce with stuff in it?
Soup is sauce with stuff in it.
Yeah. And chili. Chili can be sauce with stuff
Do
in
you
it.
want me to put her behind the glass?
Yeah,
Hey.
this is it's kind of,
The witness will answer the question.
the witness will,
You don't get out of this.
Soup stuff with sauce in it. I have never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
No,
But if
I'm
you
sorry.
do, does it make sense?
I don't know. I mean, chili is sauce with stuff in it
Thank
too.
you.
At
And
that
chili is
point,
soup. So yes, he said
no.
yes.
At that point, I'm saying, but I will. I will say this. I thought this was funny because I started when I judged at the World Championship chili cook. I started getting very nervous. So I was like, I am not equipped for this. Like, this is all fun and games, and now this is like serious business. It's like real money you can win and
You're
a title
toying
and
with people's
yes. And they started having a conversation in the judging tutorial about consistency. And I was like, oh no, come on, guys. It's like, is it good or is it not good? But as soon as you started going through, you got, it's like, it was something like if your spoon sticks in it and the spoon stays up, that's too thick.
Oh.
But if
Really?
it's watery, like, too watery and it doesn't have some heft and consistency, then it's too thin.
Okay.
It needs to be just right.
It needs to be just
perfect
right,
sauce
Elvis.
consistency.
Yes.
More
that's right.
questions. Last round, we got to get out of here. Yes, go.
Okay, I'm sure you've said it a million times, but what is your favorite episode?
Stress relief. I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
The otherwise known as the Dwight fake fire drill episode.
I remember that.
But for me now, by the way, I think pound for pound, the injury, Michael burning his foot on the George Foreman grill. I think it's comedy wise would be that. Probably Jim and Pam's wedding or whatever, if you want to be hitting the feel bone. But that one, stress relief for me now, a lot of the episodes are about what was going on outside of that, like what was going on during that time. And, if you just watch the show on Netflix, you don't know this, but that episode was right after the Super Bowl. So, 100 gajillion people watched that episode live and the fake fire drill and stuff like that. So, I'm a sports fan, so it was like, that's, we were on right after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's cool. That's so cool.
Me busting up the vending machine right after, a great Super Bowl.
I always want to hit you with so many quotes, like throughout this whole thing. Every time you say something, I want to be like, Stanley, don't die. Barack Obama's president now, but I won't.
And didn't you try out to be Stanley first?
I did.
Okay, okay, fine.
I told you
We have
one
so
question.
many questions.
I know.
How dare you bring him in here and cut off our time?
One last question from producer Sam.
Yeah. Will you come to my wedding?
Okay. All right. So, Brian, thank you.
When is it?
That's a great question.
When is it?
25th.
November 25th?
The day after Thanksgiving.
The day after Thanksgiving.
Bring all of your chilies.
Let me just say this. The day after you know what? If you had said this weekend, maybe. But the day after Thanksgiving.
I'll freaking move it.
The day after Thanksgiving
Here
is a
it
no.
is, Brian. The Chili Cookbook.
Yay!
Seriously good.
Thank you, guys.
Post it on our socials. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.